if you need money quickly, this is what you need to do. This is what we do, right? This is everything we do that works, everything that our clients do that works and needs to make money quickly. Let's dial it in, all right? So there's 3 parts of this to go, all right, if we need to create a fast cash formula, if we need the fastest path to cash, this also, I want to say, is a little bit of a departure of our brand builder journey, right? Our brand builder journey is designed to go do these steps in this order, and that's how you build an empire, right? That's how you build the tallest building in the world, is you lay a foundation that is strong enough and deep enough to support one of the highest towers, i.e. one of the biggest personal brands in the world. If you want to become one of the biggest personal brands in the world, you have to do those things. You cannot not do those things. But we have to balance the long term, right? We're fully aware as entrepreneurs. And again, Brand Builders Group is the 6th different multi-million-dollar business that AJ and I have started. 6 times we have started a business on 0 and grown that to multi-million dollars. So we know the pain, the real life stress and anxiety of going, how do you start from nothing and get enough cash in the door to then grow and reinvest to make it something big? So we get that. So today's advice is not going to be anything that's counter to what we normally teach in the brand builder journey. It's just like a condensed short-term version where we go, okay, if you got to make money fast, like this is what you need to do, and you need to do this quickly so that you can get a little breathing room, so that you can create a little financial runway, so that you can give yourself hope and create wins and just a little bit of margin and space to go back and then be able to go, okay, let's regather and reassess and build something big. And the analogy that I use often for startup mode is being chased by a bear. This is how I think of it is, and being chased by a bear is you go camping and you're like, oh, I've got this great vision. I'm going to have my own freedom and independence out here in the wild, and I'll build my own campsite, and I'll feed off of my own fruit and my own labor, and I'll work the soil. And then all of a sudden a bear shows up and starts like chasing you, right? And that bear is, now you're struggling for survival. And that is what, when you become an entrepreneur, there's this hope, this dream, this beautiful grand vision you have. And then all of a sudden reality sets in. It's holy moly, there's a bear chasing me. And now all of a sudden I'm running for my life. And that's the reality of entrepreneurship. What happens is, let's say that this bear starts chasing you and your shoe's untied. Depending on how close the bear is to you, you cannot stop to tie your shoe. Let's say that your t-shirt is on backwards. Like, you cannot stop to turn your t-shirt around. Let's say that you have mismatching socks on because you woke up in the dark and you weren't expecting to get chased by a bear. You cannot stop to change your sock. You just have to run, right? Like, when you're in this startup mode, you have to fly. Like, you have to just survive. And mission number 1 of a new entrepreneur is to survive. And survival is about, what do we have to do for cash flow? And today is not about building the perfect campsite. It's not about having matching socks and the perfect outfit and having everything dressed and neatly in order and structured and organized and planned. And also going, if you want to build a big business, you got to build great systems. If you want to build a great business, you got to build great systems. But when you're being chased by the bear, the tying your shoe is often a great system. Is going, yeah, at some point I need to stop and tie my shoe because I'll run more efficiently if my shoes are on properly. But there is also a reality, a life and death reality that says, when I'm first starting, I don't have the convenience of trying to tie my shoes. I'm running for my life. I'm just trying to stay alive. And that's what I think like cash flow is all about. And so most of what we do is we're talking about how to build a breakthrough brand. Like, we're teaching you, generally speaking, how to build one of the biggest personal brands in the world, how to do the things that we've helped so many clients do, become national best-selling authors, Hall of Fame speakers. We just had our 12th client that's now making $1 million a year more in annual revenue than when they started working with us, right? That's what we're trying to do. Those things sometimes take a couple years, at least a couple to a few years. But what do you do when the bear is on your tail and your shoes are untied and your hair's a mess and you're just like, you've got your shirt on backwards and you're like, okay, how do we survive? So that's what we're talking about today. And that's what the fast cash formula is all about, is going, if you're in survival mode, how do I make money quickly so that I can give myself some more runway? So I'm going to break this up into 3 parts. Part number 1 is your offer structure. Your offer structure, right? Is going, okay, what is the thing that we should sell if we're like desperate for cash? Okay. That's the first thing we're going to talk about. The second thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about sales strategy, to go, okay, now once we go, what is the thing that we're going to sell that can generate revenue quickly and make money fast? Then what's the mechanism? What's the sales strategy to get people to buy that thing? What's the most essential sort of ingredients or method to get people to buy that? And then the third thing we're going to talk about is traffic sources. Traffic sources, to go, okay, how do I then let people know about my thing when I'm just starting out and I don't have a huge audience? All right. So that's what we're talking about. Offer structure first, then we're going to talk about sales strategy, then we're going to talk about traffic sources. So first, let's talk about offer structure. Now, when I look at offer structure, we immediately need to divide into 2 groups. Some of you are B2C, which is business to consumer. Some of you are B2B, which is business to business. All of the strategies we teach work for both, but they have to be adapted a little bit based on which audience you're going after. And B2C, business to consumer, means you're selling to individual humans, meaning at the end of the day, you're targeting a human who is like a sole decision maker, maybe with their spouse or their something like that. But at the end of the day, it's one person making a decision, buying for themselves. And I'm selling fitness coaching, and I'm selling that to individuals who buy individual coaching sessions. They make a decision. It's their body. It's a one-to-one sort of relationship. So that's B2C. Then there is B2B, which is business to business, going, you're not selling to like an individual decision maker. You're selling to a company, which is often means there are multiple decision makers involved. There's typically like one final decision maker. Of course, the owner of the company ultimately is the one who typically can just make the decision, but they're buying something for a whole company, right? They're buying, if you're selling software systems, it's like they're buying a solution that affects all the people inside their organization. Keynote speaking is a B2B kind of sale, because it's typically like, I'm hiring you to come speak to my company or my association. They're making a decision based on how it affects a lot of people. So in the chat, what I would love for you to do is just type B2C, like B and then the number 2C, or B2B, to tell me which one do you think your model is. So you first need to get clear on that. If you're not clear, remember, when you're building a personal brand, you don't start with why, you start with who.